It's Melanie White here from Downsize Me, and this is a short video about cognitive behaviour therapy in response to some queries I've had recently about it. So what is CBT? Well, in a nutshell, it's pretty much a tool that allows you to shift out of a sabotaging mindset into an empowering mindset. So you can switch the way you think and rewire those negative or limiting belief behaviour patterns that you have. Cognitive behaviour therapy is based on the theory that what you think and believe will dictate how you feel and how you act. For example, let's say there's a party coming up this weekend and your first thought is, oh my God, I'm going to drink way too much like I usually do. Or, oh no, how am I going to control myself around all that food? I'll probably eat everything on the table. So that's an example of a limiting belief that pops up in response to an event. And that's where CBT can be really helpful to rewire that thought process and make it more productive. A great tool that you can use is called the ABCDE model. So the A stands for an activating event, and in this example it's a party that's coming up, but it could be anything else like an email that you get or a meeting that you've got to attend, or it could be just simply something that wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning that you're worried about. Anyway, there's always an activating event that triggers the belief or the thought process. So in the case of the party example, the belief could be, I'm going to eat everything on the table, or it could be, I can't control myself with alcohol and I'll drink too much and get silly. So that could be one of the beliefs or thought processes. And then the C in the model is the consequence. So if that were to happen, what would the consequence be? And it's going to be obviously things like frustration, anger, anxiety, guilt, blame, shame, those sorts of unhelpful negative emotions. So the first part of CBT, the ABC part of that model, is about understanding what's going on and what your natural reactions and thought processes are when something difficult comes up. The part that's really helpful is the D and the E, and the D is the first part, which is disputing the thought. Consciously sitting down and writing down what is that thought or belief, what are the consequences, and what are some ways I can logically dispute that. So in the case of going to this party, you might look to your past history and consider, have there been times you've been to parties before where you haven't eaten everything on the table, or where you haven't had any alcohol, or you've managed to control your alcohol intake? The E in the model stands for effective thinking. So after you've disputed the thought and realised that it's probably not rational or logical, the next step is, what do you do differently? And that's where the E comes in. So in the case of going to a party and thinking that you might drink too much, this is your chance to brainstorm some other ways to deal with a situation. So perhaps you might think about being the designated driver, or calling your coach and talking through your anxiety about the party, or perhaps ringing up a friend and talking to them to get some support. There are all sorts of different things you can do, and the aim of the E is for you to work out what are the full list of things you can do, and then to choose a few that you might implement in that situation. Obviously change takes time and practice and repetition, so the point of this is the ABCDE is a great thing for you to write down and work through whenever you come up with a situation that seems to recur in your life. You can practice using different strategies and trying to see which ones work the best for you to absolutely change that thinking and get into a healthier way of being. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.